Abortion rights and pro-life advocates are squaring off in Texas in a high-profile battle over abortion. Some pro-life doctors filed a lawsuit claiming the U.S. Food and Drug Administration exceeded its authority when it approved a drug used in chemically induced abortions. The doctors contend their patients are experiencing medical complications from the so-called abortion pill. Well, 22 Republican state attorneys general and 67 members of Congress backed the lawsuit. They want the FDA's decision overturned. Democrats say women would suffer if the pill is pulled from use in the United States. Well, joining us with more is Pastor James Harden, the CEO of Compass Care, a pro-abortion militant firebombed that pro-life medical office in Buffalo last June. Pastor Harden, good to talk with you again. So this abortion pill lawsuit in Texas may be sent to trial. If it does, and the FDA decision is overturned, it would be unprecedented. So why do you believe this medication should be banned here in the U.S.?
Well, the medication for the chemical abortion should be banned because it is currently harming women. And not just obviously harming women in terms of the sepsis and the hemorrhaging, the fact that they're being sent to the emergency room. 1 in 10 women are being sent to the emergency room after starting this chemical abortion process. That's on the surface. The reason why this lawsuit is so important is because the FDA violated their legal obligation to make sure this drug was safe. And it didn't do that either in the beginning during the Clinton administration, and it still has not done that with the Biden administration. And the Biden administration just flat out deregulated it on January 3rd before the 118th Congress could get in session. They tried to do as much as they possibly could. They got the camel's nose under the tent with COVID. Being able to send these drugs in the mail, by the way, which is also illegal according to current U.S. Code Title 18, paragraphs 1461 and 1462. This drug has violated all sorts of FDA protocols. The FDA has turned a blind eye to it, which means the FDA has been politicized.
With a Supreme Court decision in effect overturning Roe versus Wade last year, we're seeing many legal battles like this one in the states. So are states successfully enacting new restrictions on abortion without having their decisions overturned? Will all of these new laws end up at the Supreme Court?
Yeah, states are engaging their restrictions on abortion post-Roe. It's very effective, and it's not likely that many of them, if any, are going to be going to the Supreme Court, since the Supreme Court, we know how they're going to rule. It's just unlikely that they would pick up any other cases relative to state restrictions. It's the state's purview, and it's going to stay there. So I hope that the states continue to enact restrictions as they should. And we'll see what happens with some of these more liberal states, because those are the laws, and the deregulation of abortion is going to be kind of on the docket in the coming weeks and months and years.
On the matter of attacks against pro-life pregnancy centers, yours in Buffalo was firebombed last year in June. It wasn't until 5 months later, after the midterm election, that the FBI posted a reward for information and help from the public in finding a suspect. Are the feds making progress on these pro-life facility and church attacks, or are they still dragging their feet?
That's a good question, Gary, and the answer is they're still dragging their feet. The arrests that they made, I mean, if you provide or refer for abortions and there's something that happens, you're attacked, and you're gonna find that they're gonna find the perpetrators within days, and that's what we saw. Kalamazoo, Michigan was an attempted arson attack on a Planned Parenthood, and they put together within hours a joint federal law enforcement task force, reviewed the video surveillance, and engaged in forensic analysis, and they found and arrested the perpetrator within 4 days. And he was rightly so arrested, and I'm happy to see that justice was done there. However, you take a look at how they've treated pregnancy centers. That there's a bona fide concerted effort to attack pro-life organizations all across this country. There have been over 230 attacks on pro-life entities in 2022 alone, and it took the FBI 5 weeks just to even review our video surveillance. I mean, they've only made 2 arrests. Actually, they've made 2 indictments. I don't want to say that they've made arrests because I don't know that they're in custody down in Florida of people that have engaged in graffiti acts against pro-life pregnancy centers in southern Florida. This is, it's just the FBI. The award money that they put out there is just the FBI placating the House Judiciary Committee, making it look like they're acting and then getting results. But what matters with the FBI is results, and they're not getting any results.
Well, let's go one step further. Then, of course, there was that dawn FBI SWAT team-like raid and arrest of pro-life advocate Mark Houck at his Pennsylvania home. A jury recently acquitted him on federal charges. It looks like he may sue the FBI for excessive use of force, wrongful arrest. So what effect might his arrest and possible lawsuit have on deterring government discrimination, perhaps persecution against pro-lifers?
Well, I hope that, and I've been saying this for a long time, that the government shifted from abdicating their duty to investigate violence against pro-life people to literally attacking. And that happened to Mark Houck and others. Mark Houck, when he was exonerated, he had not received justice. Even in the exoneration, the jurors were heroes. They did the right thing. But did Mark receive justice? And the answer is no. Justice will not be done until there's the spotlight of investigation is shined directly on the DOJ and the FBI for being politicized and using their power, or allowing their power to be co-opted by a political agenda. And so I'm glad that potentially a lawsuit's moving forward. I've been saying for months that someone needs to sue the FBI for the deprivation of rights of certain citizens, particularly pro-life citizens.
Okay, Pastor James Harden, it's always good to hear from you and hear your thoughts. God bless you.
You too.